Hey everyone, welcome to Juju's Empathic Lightwork. Yo, welcome. This is for the sign of Taurus. I hope everyone is having a good month. This is for the October general reading. I know it's already October, but guess what? These messages told me that my ancestors told me to they'll put the messages out for the month of October just so that y'all know what energies you could be feeling. And this is what Juju Empathic Lightwork is about sending out those messages to allow y'all to know that this is good to know whenever it's relevant for you. So whenever you see these messages, this couldn't even be happening in October. This could be happening further in the future. This could be also rehashing things from the past. This could be about things that are really relevant to you as well. So let's get into it. And let's remember, this is a general reading. A general reading. Yeah. A general reading. General reading for the sign of Taurus. For the sign of Taurus. I have a few Taurus friends. I got a cousin that's a Taurus. I think I got a couple cousins that are Tauruses, but this energy is for the month of October and forward. So 2018, let's get into it. I'm gonna start shuffling your deck. I have been already resonating on the energies of y'all. And Tauruses are a real stubborn energy. I like them because they're also very sweet energy because they are reigned by the planet Venus. So that being said, they can tend to deal with things a little bit sweeter, but they can also be real stubborn and bullheaded at times, being a Taurus and things. As I'm sitting on this energy and folding these cards, I'm just thinking what could you be thinking about? It is October, it's fall. Fall being that Thanksgiving is coming soon, Halloween's coming soon. I already seen the Halloween candy out. It's so crazy. I literally just got to October. It's so crazy how fast they switch the seasons themselves. That being said, what else could you be thinking about? I feel like while I'm folding these cards up, you should be thinking about any things that could be relevant to you right now. We're going to be doing the Celtic Cross, so it's a very general, powerful energy, and the Celtic Cross calls from more of a naturist, mystic type of higher level of knowing and thinking and being and breathing and just in the energy of more finding himself, you know what I mean? And just a cool general energy. It could be an energy of anything. As I fold these cards up, also, I think that you should know that Venus is in retrograde, and that being said, your relationships and other things should be tested. Your bonds or partnerships or commitmentships that you've made will be tested around this time in the month of October. Even though the month of October, it is supposed to be Venus sign, but for some reason the planet is in retrograde. So retrogrades happen, and planets in retrograde make that energy a little bit rougher, a little bit harder to deal with. So also you could be dealing with fights in your relationship. You could also be dealing with worrying about if this relationship's gonna last, or cutting out things that you don't think is relationship material, you know what I mean, or that type of subject. And this being a general reading, this is going to touch on your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. It's going to talk about anything in general. So it will be work, it could be family, it could be love, it could be yourself, it could be a lot of things. But that is how the Celtic Cross is going to just show us what things we should be paying attention to, and what things we need to be seeing, and what things we need to know. This is for the sign of Taurus. This is for the sign of Taurus. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone's doing well. appreciate all your likes and subscribes and your views and your sharing, and just keep sharing it and keep putting it out there. If this doesn't resonate with you, I'm sorry that I missed you this time around, but messages could always happen. And also, you could also do a personal reading with Juju, or go to empathic.litewerk at gmail.com, and you can hit me up and we can figure out a personal reading. Also, this could be for any of your Taurus friends, or any of you crosswatchers out there looking for Taurus or trying to see Taurus energy. Okay, I got one more shuffle, and then we will go onto your cards, and we will cut the decks. A couple more, just a couple more. Spirit's like, just keep shuffling inside till you stop. I'm like, well, I want to stop too, my hands is getting tired. Like, no, human, keep going. I'm like, okay. Okay, V. If you hear my dog moaning in the background, because she is a little spoiled little brat, and she's also my little darling, so she's both. You ready to find you? So you ready to find you? Cut the deck now. And yes, I cut the deck funky. Spirits, ancestor, all guides, thank you very much for any messages that you give us for the sign of Taurus. And we are going to lay down your spread. And at the bottom of your spread, we have the Palace of Coins. The Palace of Coins, very interesting. Earth side energy. This is Earth energy, and you are in your element. This is talking about a safe, secure home, a very pleasant home. I also got this for the sign of Virgo, so you may have Virgo in your life, or you may have Virgo in your chart. So if you want to check out that video, you can too. If you want to check out what your chart is, go on to just Google natal charts, and there's always a free one at the top, and just check out, put your birth sign, put your birth date and your time that you were born, and you got everything, and you'll know who's a Virgo, what's a Virgo, what's all your signs and everything. Also, the Palace of Coins talks about a secure mental or physical material growth, so this could be your home or a haven that you make. And I know Tauruses love their home, they love their haven. They love their home and their haven. And remember, this is a general reading, so we are going to lay out your spread for the cross. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5, we got 6, we got 7, we got 8, we got 9, we got 10, we got 11, and that is it. And remember, at the bottom we have the Palace of Coins. Palace of Coins. Coins. You may be thinking about your coins. You may be working hard for your coins. You may be keeping your house. Maybe you have a home-based business that you're working on. Or I feel like a home, if you're working from home, this is you just calling on that and just dealing with that type of energy. And which is really good. That's good. You always, a Taurus, I know a Taurus and a Virgo and even a Capricorn, they really love their home. They love that's their sanctity, to feel like they're at home and they're at peace. But that's their home. So next thing we're gonna get into your spread. First card we have is the signifier, and the signifier is just some significance or the significant energy in your life that you could be dealing with. And we have the Sun. The Sun is major arcana. The way that tarot works is that they're divided into 78 cards. 22 are majors, 56 are minor. And the major are major life, major energies, major affecting type of crazy, cray. And it could be crazy on a good level, crazy on a bad level, or just major, or minor. And the minor cards are dealt in 4 different elements: wands being fire, cups being water, earth being coins, and air being swords. That being said, all of these elements make up the mundane, or make up the powers of manifestation. That being said, this major arcana is the sun. It talks about a new life, or a new beginning of some sort, or a new source of some sort. Also, the sun is just a beautiful sign. It could also be the sign of Leo, which the sign of Leo is the sun itself. It's also about a awareness, conscious, or a reason or order, confidence, optimism, intelligence. The sun is the heavenly body and self-esteem, of self-esteem and self-integration. This is about being very confident and very optimistic about new beginnings as well, about being able to balance the universe and have the powers of the universe at your grasp, and not feeling enslaved by the energy of the devil, or being disrupted by the energy of the tower, or being uneased by the energy of the moon. No, the fool, when it emerges as the sun, it undergoes a dismantlement of personality and has constructed a new one that is more sophisticated, more reflective of its inner self, and more effective. The inner self, which the past appeared to him dimly perceived in the moon, now glows in an incandescence of the power of the sun. On this card, we see a bright, powerful figure suggestive of Apollo, the Greek god of light and healing and order and reason. This card signifies the ultimately flowering of consciousness, and in sharp contrast to the moon, which emulates the depths of the subconscious but awareness of the intellectualness. This also talks about being more into self and seeing more in the confidence of yourself, and feeling the confidence of yourself, and being deep rooted in how optimistic things may be, even in contrasting situations, even in striking situations. You are able to have the force and have the power to govern the laws of physics, and govern the laws of the universe by finding that deeper understanding. And that's a signifier in your life. So that could be Leo energy of a Leo in your life. You could have Leo in your chart. The next card we have is you. You is feeling like the 10 of Wands. Oh no. The 10 of Wands is a burden, y'all. The 10 is also a completion of some sort. So maybe y'all need to complete something with somebody, because this also talks about the sign of Sagittarius and the sign of Saturn. The planet of Saturn. So the 10 of Wands is mundane energy, and like I said, mundane energy could be day to day, but this is you in the spread, as in you are somehow reflecting this energy of some sort. And that being said, you are going on to a much different way of life. Also, you are feeling a burden of some sort. You're feeling weighed down by gravity's endeavors of some sort. This is about an endeavor that has progressed to the point where complications, obstacles, and pressures weigh you down. Being a slave to one's ambitions, a project that has run its course, and it may not be time to progress to something new. That being said, this is about someone kneeling to the pressures of life, or kneeling to the burdens of whatever actions they've taken as well, whatever actions have been taken towards them, feeling those burdens, feeling the ways of those outcomes. Astrology-wise, Saturn in Sagittarius The expansive and freedom-loving tendencies of Sagittarius are limited by by Saturn itself. In Saturn being the learning planet, it is one of those moments where maybe you've taken too many things that have weighed too much on you. But also, it could be an alternative, bound to the obstinance of your own goals, which become his taskmaster. He no longer is an autonomous individual, but instead has become a slave to his ambitions. Implied in all of this growing conviction, the endeavor has run its useful course and has become more trouble than it's worth, and it may be advantages to starting to think about bringing this project to a close or letting something new spark off in your interest. Or something new to spark your interest. Crossing or challenging energy. We have the Two of Cups. This could be an emotional relationship. This is also the sign of, this is the planet of Venus and the sign of Capricorn. So, I mean, not Capricorn. Cancer. The sign of Cancer. So this could be, you could have Cancer in your chart, or you could have Cancer in your life, or a Cancer in your life. This is also Venus energy, so I feel like since we are in the planet of Venus, it makes sense why it came up. The Two of Cups also talks about a new relationship, though. It talks about a new awakening of some sort. So this crossing, this challenge may be a new relationship, the new beginning, whether it's love affair, friendship, business partnership, an equal relationship. People who are comfortable, easy, and warm with each other, sharing. This energy is like Venus energy in Cancer. Your impulse to relate in Venus tries to find a home for a secure and dependable focus for its attention. Cancer. So also, I feel like you may be challenged by a relationship. So you are looking at things with a new perspective and some significance, and you have you in some type of burden or in obstinance, or looking at your goals in happiness, trying to get towards those goals, or maybe you've completed those goals and you've obtained them, or maybe you're still, you know that the goal is still near, but it may be there. And this crossing energy is maybe there's a relationship or a new relationship pending, or something new about to start, and you just don't see it coming, or you didn't see it coming yet. Two of Cups also speaks of of sharing or a relationship of some sort. So that being crossing, I think that's you just dealing with a new relationship or dealing with a new partnership of some sort. Maybe you have some type of happy new something. But cups are emotion, like I said, fire wands is about passion and action. Well, the cups are about emotions, feelings, emotional states. Okay, fourth card in your spread, we have the Foundation, Judgment, Major Arcana. We have another Major Arcana, y'all. Another Major Arcana. So there may be some life events really going on. Judgment also talks about another chance. It talks about judging others poorly or not poorly. It also is about gaining the higher or wider perspective of seeing oneself as a part of a larger whole rather than an isolated individual, heeding a call to follow a path or take an action. This also is astrology. Pluto, the planet of transformation and regeneration, which is cool. That is also about renewals of some sort. It talks about being on a voyage to a new awareness, to be confident after the sun's reign, to go up 2 more cards and find a deeper, stronger consciousness, and now be broader and encompassed in simply individual concerns. Simply put, the Judgment card shows that the Fool's awareness undergoing the broadening process, and the World card, the world abides the boundless enlightenment that results. But the traditional deck shows the angel blowing a triumph while resurrecting corpses emerge from the coffin, a scene right out of Christian iconography. Resurrection, and this refers to resurrection and the Last Judgment. When the souls of dead will be reunited with the physical bodies prior to receiving their final disposition or in heaven or hell. In the Tarot Dreams card, we see that the angel, but we see an angel, but here she represents the fool's inner self, who is, after all, only a part of awareness or a motivating force or universe. The Judgment card, the angel calls upon a widened perspective and awaken ourselves to the universe as a whole rather than the solidarity of our own egos. On this card, the angel stares out at us unexpectedly with infinite wisdom and patience. Beyond here, two gold men hold up two golden hoops, those which we see progressive stages of women's ascension, or female ascension, or feminine ascension. On the Judgment card, the circle is seen in the ultimate incarnation. Passing through it, we cross the boundaries of ego to join the world of conscious that awaits. These four female figures, though, they show the progress of awareness, and the lowest position, the woman floats her attention directly downwards. As the middle position, she feels herself being tugged upward through the transformative loop. Finally, she passes through the transformation circle, ready to face the purifying fire of the universe's awareness. In the tarot, gender is often used as symbols. It can be instructive to consider the gender as a figure on the cards, as we remember that those genders are meant to be thoughts of symbolic sense only, and do not refer to anyone's actual gender. On the Judgment card, the two male figures in the pillars signify the same kind of reason, order, and intellectual harmony that we saw on the Sun card. This solar reason acts as a channel to the lunar subconscious and the energy that it needs to transform, or an essential energy diagram that shows pleasing symbiosis between yang and or solar energy, that yin or lunar energy. Each needs each other. Neither can attach the goal without the other. Neither can attain the goal without each other. In this reading, we must also bring cosmic or spiritual implications down to earth in order to relate to them in the situation. The Judgment card can simply refer to gaining a wider perspective or heeding a call to follow a particular path and take a particular action. And that's in your foundation. And that being said, you may be judging something, you may be judging others, or something of that sort. So next card we have is your past, and that's the fifth card. The fifth card, we have the King of Cups. So you may have had an emotional energy. Cups. The minor arcana also have court cards. Court cards are significant because they match more about personality, and more about that personality is that they represent that emotion or that energy of whatever element they are. So this being the King of Cups, this is a controlling person. This could be a controlling energy. This could be a controlling emotional energy as well. So however you take it, if there is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio maybe in your life, or you may have Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio in your chart. And the King of Cups also talks about both living above water and below water, and talking about taking what he feels in depths or his intuitions received and translating them into actions into the real world. He is a mediator or a counselor in emotional matters. His extraordinary ability to empathize with those who he comes to or comes in contact with, to place himself in their shoes, making him an invaluable member of the society. Unlike the other kings, the King of Cups has a circlet instead of a crown, because he is emotionally identifies with those he seeks to see. In the stage of development, he is an emotional matter that has reached its stage to ready to manifest itself into a relationship or a development into a relationship. You are ready to communicate something that you feel. You are mature enough to counsel or help mediate your others. And or another view is that you can also another view is that this approach could be that kings are controlling. The king of cups suggests that you take charge of your own emotional life. Don't be afraid to communicate your feelings or to offer advice to others in need. 2/3 Pisces, 1/3 Aquarius. So you may have a Pisces in your life or Aquarius in your life, or any of that in your chart. Also, the king has a full understanding of the non-rational and non-linear patterns of the emotional life, Pisces, yet desires to use the understanding to help society in general, Aquarius. Okay, next card we have is the 6th card. We have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Knights are about action. That's another court card. So that's water energy. So you could have, there's a lot of water, there's water signs in your life. But Knights are about doing too. Knights are about action. Knights of Cups recommends that you take action in emotional matters that are into your own hands. All too often we find ourselves paralyzed in relationships, indecisive, and incapable of responding well. The Knight tells us to dive in deep into the pool. 2/3 Scorpio, 1/3 Libra. The Knight of Cups appreciates the beauty that it is beloved Libra, which he worships with extravagant intensity, and that is Scorpio. So, like I said, you may have Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio you may be dealing with or dating, or that type of emotion may be coming up. You may have some type of emotion that you want to start dealing with, or you may have an emotional connection that you want to start talking about, and that's in your present. And this 5th card being about your past, maybe you had that Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or that type of emotional energy that you wanted to start and make or manifest a relationship, and this present is about taking that relationship into action. Or maybe you found someone that you like that's a water sign and you just never took any action. Well, these cards are telling you that you should take action, that water sign may be good for you. And Taurus is also under the sign of under the planet of Venus. So that being said, Venus gives it that energy of love, and I don't know no Taurus that doesn't love. So I mean, some are cranky, but I know a lot of Tauruses that are really just loving, sweet people and love. And so emotionally, I feel like you want to take that action and you want to declare something new. You want to take something new. Okay, the 7th card we have is the future. So we have past, present, and this is the future. Justice, that is the sign of Libra. Also major arcana. This is the 3rd major arcana in your spread. So some major life events are going on, and this is about order. You know what I mean? Judgment's about second chances, renewal, seeing things in a different perspective and a higher perspective. Well, justice is about weighing out all that is right and wrong in the world, or all that is right and wrong with you. So in your future, I feel like justice is something that you really are going to take into consideration. That's going to make you happier in life or more focused on in the future. This could also be about legal affairs or anything like that. The justice, the principle of fairness being the too judgmental or fighting for a disenfranchised or disimposed idea, lack of bias. This card also is the sign of Libra astrology. Libra is the sign of balance, harmonious environment, and which is the natural goal of the law of justice. But knowing that fair treatment must be truth, though, that you must not disenfranchise or disimpose your own assumptions or opinions onto others, but to see and logically understand the the difference between an opinion and actual fact, and cause and effect, and what is just and what you should be fighting for, what is the right fight and what you should be fighting for. Maybe you should be fighting for, maybe you're feeling like you should be fighting for, I don't know what you should be fighting for. We'll see more when I clarify. Eighth card we have is another major arcana, but this is your card, Taurus. This is the sign of Taurus itself. Faith. Faith in this deck is called Faith, but in other decks it's called the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about union, is about relationships, is about some type of institution of faith of some sort. It's also believing deeply in something, finding meaning above and beyond the material world. It's ethics and morality. It's philosophy, religious teachings and traditions, a conceptual framework against which things can be balanced in content. Also, this is about, astrology-wise, this is about, as you can see, my dog's in the background. My dog is so done. She's like, I'm ready for you to be over these videos. Like now. Taurus is, back to what I was saying. Astrology-wise, Taurus is the sign of creating practical, conservative routines that related to the aspects to penetrate the unknown through the power of conscious thought. Also, this is about creating practical means, conservative routines. This relates to the aspects of faith and that deal with creating, then remaining faithful to the frameworks and structures of meaning. This also talks about how the faith card represents a part of ourselves which is capable of placing events, thoughts, emotions of ourselves in a greater context, giving pattern and structure to them, and providing a framework in which we place them in content. This can include traditional religions and their trappings, but also can include personal philosophies and beliefs that are unconnected with what we usually think is as quote-unquote religion. While this card helps us deal with the shadow elements of the other card's faith, it shows faith has its own shadows. Faith has the human tendency to avoid change, lead us to invest our moral framework with auras of infallibility, thus leading us to biased prejudice, which leads us to bigotry, and much insight can be gained by carefully observing the actions of the leaders and organizations with even the most enlightened seemed goals. Undoubtedly, you find that at least a few of them demonstrate intolerance, inflexibility, and desire to use others' faith as a pawn to gain personal power. It is partially for this reason that the 9 symbols shown on this card are spaced evenly around the image connected to the glowing circle. No outlook or framework can possibly define or explain the whole of reality. Each religion or philosophy is a facet of endless possibilities, and none can lay claim to the infallibility or the exclusivity. So this is also about being stuck in your ways or being stuck in unions. Sometimes Tauruses can be a bit stubborn. I love them to death. They are sweet creatures, but they can be a real bit stubborn sometimes. And that being said, they stick in that faith or those beliefs in a lot of the times. Next card we have, or the next part of our spread we have, is That Was Yourself, and that's very interesting. The 8th card is about yourself, and you pulled yourself on yourself of Taurus. You get it? You are the Hierophant, you are faith, but you shouldn't always sit in that stubbornness, I don't believe. Next card we have is number 9, 2. We have number 2 of Wands. That is making decisions or weighing out options, or feeling like you're weighing out options. This is the sign of Aries and his planet Mars. It's about it's about realizing your own position in everything. Okay, the 10th card, or the 10th card in your spread, is hopes and fears. Hopes and fears, we have the 3 of wands. So this is a hope or fear. So this is about waiting for your ships to come in. Also Aries. And the sun, astrology wise. So the 3 of wands talks about waiting for your signs of success after having taken initial action, waiting for a return on one's initial investment of energy, replaying one's initial success, and thus failing to progress to the next level. Astrology-wise, Sun in Aries, you take charge of your situation, Sun, by taking direct action and influence in the events to your liking. Aries. So this is also about, being a little bit passionate, being a little bit actionate, and you went from 2 to 3, so that's good, because two being about weighing your options and weighing your things. These are in your environment, so you must be weighing some options of some sort. You must be weighing some type of decisions of some sort, and that's what you're sitting on right now. You're sitting on that plateau before you get to the 2 gates, before you choose between the 2 gates. But as you can see, there's not an actual path that goes to either one gate. Both gates are kind of open, so maybe you can figure out a way to go to both, or maybe you just really have to figure out which way you want to go. 11th card, and the final outcome, we have the Palace of Swords. The Palace of Swords. I think it's very interesting you got the Palace of Swords, because you got the Palace of Cups, or the Palace of Coins at the bottom of the deck. So I'm just gonna put this right here at the bottom of the deck, that we got the Palace of Coins. And now you got the Palace of Swords in your outcome. So this is very much air energy. This is also new ideas, new passionate, this is new ideas or new logical ways of looking at things. Air, or the Power of Swords, is also about communication and about ideas. So the Palace of Swords, this card shows that this environment promotes you to clear thinking in cold, crisp air. The structure rises above obscuring mist that usually clouds our thinking, and are built as obscure decks and are built as observation decks for purpose of efficient perception rather than luxurious living. The many wings suggest the mind's ability to overcome emotional biases and attain a global perspective of things, or seeing things in a new way. This is the final outcome. I feel like this is you seeing things in a new form, or a new way of thinking of things, or a new way of going at things, or dealing with things. Okay, so I just want to do some clarity, so I'm just going to keep using this deck, and I'm going to put this Palace of Coins right down there, because that is pretty significant, because you still pulled your own energy. I'm going to shuffle these cards a little bit. First, I'm going to work my way backwards. So for the Faith card, Major Arcana, I need one card, please. One card, please. Faith card. I need what for themselves. Why did they get the Faith card? What else do they need to know about themselves? I get that they're in their own power, but what else do I need to know, Spirit? What else do I need to know, guidance? Tell me. Give me one card to answer for the Major Arcana of Faith. Major Arcana of Faith for the October 2018 for the sign of Taurus. For the sign of Taurus. For the sign of Taurus. If you can just give me for the sign of Taurus. Tell me when to stop, Spirit. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop, Spirit. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop, Spirit. You gotta pop her. You gotta pop her. Okay, popping out is Major Arcana, Wheel of Fortune, you guys. This is some major life energy. So in yourself, you may be going through some lucky, or in some changes you may be going through of some sort, and that's kind of what you're focusing on in yourself. So in yourself, in your power. You're in your power, trying to make these changes or these decisions, dealing with these changes or these decisions that life has thrown at you, or life or love has given you. Okay. For the major arcana of justice, let's go for the major arcana of justice. Xena wants to get inside this. Xena, you're gonna be on YouTube now. Yeah, you're gonna be on YouTube now. Oh, we got one popper, two poppers. Oh, we got the magician, and we have the Six of Swords. So we have magician being major arcana. Once again, you got another major arcana, guys. We got major life events going on, major life things going on. Six of Swords. We have also, being more quiet, a little bit more secretive on your success, on the way you deal. And this is about, about that quietness, about that stillness. The magician is major arcana of manifestation. So the magician speaks of also being, since it is the second card in the major arcana, it talks about education. It talks about training. It talks about knowledge. It talks about common sense, opportunities, translating thoughts and plans into action. It talks about turning things into a certain situation. This is also the planet of Mercury, a planet of thinking and communication. So that you may be communicating what you want to manifest. You may be wanting to be a little bit quiet about it, though, so that you can get the justice that you need. Because this is what it was about. It was about the justice. And we got two cards that popped out about justice, and that was the fact that it's the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is about just about being more quiet, about being more strategic. Six of Swords also talks about being quiet and steady and cautious in progress. It also talks about diplomacy, tact, guile, calmly exploring the subconscious mind. It also talks about, that this is Mercury in Aquarius. We create effective and inventive ways, strategies, Mercury, to accomplish our goals in unorthodox, not indirect ways, Aquarius. So it's very interesting that you got two Mercury cards in your reading as well. Right, that clarify for the sign, for the major arcana of justice. So that's very interesting to see. I need, okay, Spirit, I need a card for judgment. What is the card for judgment? And justice being in your future, I feel like you're going to be very quiet in your justice, but you're going to manifest what you need to manifest because you have the power of manifestation itself with the magician card, which is very interesting energy to see, the major arcana to see. Judgment. Can I get a card to classify judgment? Just 1 second, babes. Just 1 second. I'm talking like it. 1 second, babes. I'm almost done, babes. Bam! We got Page of Swords. We got a person that is speaking or a message of some sort, or thinking of some sort. This is about sword energy. This is about sword energy. This is about also a person. So this could be an air sign that you're dealing with of some sort. This could be a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. You may have the Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini in your chart. The pages are about learning, remember, and pages of swords are about swords are about communications or ideas. So the pages of swords talk about the personality of someone who is quick-witted, someone who is a mercurial woman, curious about the world around her, and she lacks the pages of coins, patience, and responsible attitude. Instead of her attention is playfully hops from one thing to another. She has an insatiable hunger for knowledge and is not above a little deceit or a little discreet snooping in order to gain the knowledge. Her elaborate headdress shows that the white feather symbolizes an airy quality of her mind. The hilt's tips and the four sword blades are hidden from view, indicating that her thought processes are not grounded and empirical evidence or the hilts, nor do they develop the point where she is able to glimpse or overly structures and motivations. The tips. Stage of development represents the stage of phase of idea, the strategy of infancy. The base outlines are there, but will require much fleshing out and development before it can be put to use. Pages are about learning. The pages of Taurus recommends you to focus on attention on gaining knowledge or on learning information about matters at hand. This could also include receiving information about messages, newspapers, televisions, or emails. So I feel like the second chance of the higher perspective also is about you may be having to check in on your baby, on your messages. You may have to be checking your emails. Maybe you need to see things in a new perspective. Maybe there's something in your email, something in your messages, some type of television or email or signs telling you to see things in a higher perspective, and your judgment can see that. And last but not least, we're going to do the Sun card. The Sun card, and the first major arcana you pulled for your spread. I just need one card for the sign of the Sun. It just fell out. We have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups could be talking about looking at things half full, about talking about you having some type of emotional energy or emotional feelings that you should be dealing with in some sort of lack that you are feeling. Also, it's talking about you looking at the cups half full, or you not looking at everything with happiness. Also talking about dissatisfaction. So, the Sun was about newness, perspective, higher conscious self, being confident. So maybe there's just something just not showing up right because you're feeling dissatisfied in some way. You're focusing on what you lack and the desire to be better in your circumstances, inability to appreciate that which is available to you. And this is the Moon and Cancer energy, and Cancer is ruled by the Moon, so that Cancer's in its sign in this card. Attain a secure, comfortable environment. Cancer, you have instinctual tendencies, Moon, to begin looking for greener pastures. So this is also about looking for other things or looking for better pastures because your glasses are empty at the bottom and you have this beautiful glowing cup at the top. But you got to remember that even though one glass is broken, you still have a couple glasses you can fill some stuff up with, and it looks like in one of these glasses there's still stuff in. So you can also look at it with the glass half empty effect as well. At the bottom of the deck, one last time, we have the King of Coins. The King of Coins is your energy. That is Earth sign energy. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Earth sign energy, and that's funny because Virgo pulled this card as well, but actually it was in their spread. So to see it at the bottom of your deck, it kind of confirms that you have to be inside your energy and remind yourself that you are the Taurus that you were born and raised to be, and you have been through any type of situations, or if you've been through harm, or if you've been through struggles with your faith or struggles with what you believe in, that you can kind of sit in your convictions and know that you'll get that justice and that manifestation eventually, and that you'll get that power eventually. And this is the Wand of Resonance. And as the Wand of Resonance works through, it shows me that you guys are still waiting for things in your environment to kind of pan out so that you can make certain decisions. And you did have two twos in your spreads, saying that there may be newness or decisions you have to make in the first place. there's these court cards with the knights and the cups, and you do have Libras and Leos and Cancers and Aries, a lot of, and Mercury with Taurus, that is you yourself, Mercury. And that energy is very relative and very connected to you. And you, as an earth sign, I feel like the wand is telling me that you have everything in your grasp, but you have to be, you know, strategic. You have to be quiet. You have to be manifestive, but at the same time a little manipulative to get the justice that you're looking for, get the thing that you want, to get the thing that you need in the future. And then the significance that you have to look at a new perspective with confidence. You have to be confident with whatever changes or whatever thing comes and changes your life as well. You have to be ready for those changes and remind yourself that you have the Palace of Coins and you have the Palace of Swords to really give yourself a new home and a new way of life. Swords being air is your opposite element, and if you can find and grasp that energy, then that is like the greatest thing for you, and that would be one of the greater things for you. And remind yourself that you are there. You are the king of coins. He is a giving, he is a prosperous, he is a wise, well-knowing king. He is a king that is rooted himself in the material world and is giving himself and giving the ones around him abundance, and giving himself around him the one for abundance, and giving himself the abundance that he needs. Okay, this is your spread. That was the Celtic Cross for you guys, and I just want you to know that in this October month and forward, be on your P's and Q's and really focus in on those waters, focus in on the emotional energy, but also watch out for the people in your life. And with Venus being in retrograde, it's always good to, you know, if you have to, cut out the things that don't work for you, and also accept the loving things that will work for you, and allow yourself to feel those things. Let it be from the past, let it be from the present, let it be into the future. But you have this ability to create whatever you need to create, and I want you to always remember and believe in that. So thank you for watching this video. This is Juju's Empathic Lightwork. Like I said, it was a general reading, so if you guys, if any of the messages didn't resonate with you, try me again. I hope that any of my readings do resonate with you. I hope that you figure out what you need to figure out. And if you need me, I'm at empathic.litewerk@gmail.com for a personal reading. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching and checking out my channel. This has been another cool but strong video. And also check out your natal charts. Go on Google, check out free natal charts. It should be like horoscope.com or something, and literally get that natal chart, see what other signs are in your chart, and then check out those videos too and see if any of those videos will resonate with you. Alright, thank you so much, and have a great day, and have a great month of October, you guys. Have a good one. Thank you.